because the car is officially done. That's right. Today in this video, we will reveal the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Evo race car on a street car, show you the new paint, the wheels, and the car all came together and it looks really good. Thanks in part to this man here, Mike S's first day with DDE, the official first day.
Officially here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You pumped?
I am. I'm excited. I mean, we got a lot of work to do here.
It's exciting because we have a lot of big plans this year, and this car is really significant for a lot of reasons. I'm gonna get serious for a second. So Damon is not here today. Damon's unfortunately sick. The man never gets sick. So if he's sick, it's real. He's in bed, not feeling great. I want to come down here and reveal the car for you guys because in all the ways, this car is important to me as much as it is to Damon. So when we started building this car, the intent was the ultimate tire slayer. The Huracan was really what grew this channel. Some say it was a 458, it was a Huracan. Damon and I drove 100,000 kilometers, countless rallies, daily uploads, all thanks to a Huracan and the reliability. Twin turboed it, we had it supercharged, and all the stuff to it, and eventually ended up selling it. Left kind of a hole for us around like having that reliable V10 rip around in. So we talked about building the ultimate tire slayer, and that was by putting the race car kit on a street chassis. We bought this exact kit 2 years ago. Pre-COVID. It came, sat LTMW in a box. Unfortunately, borders were closed, we couldn't build anything. Then we came back and ended up selling the kit, and immediately Damon was like, we shouldn't have sold that kit. So we bought another kit, got it here, and it cost him twice as much for this kit than it was the first time. Shipping was like $10,000. Got the kit, friend John threw it on the car. Obviously yourself helped mend some things mechanically, which we'll go over in this video. LTMW painted the car, AL13 made the wheels. During that process, somebody that was really important to us passed away, and that was Ken Block. Take it back 10 years for a second. Damon Fryer, I've known him since I was 19 years old. Always been a car guy. Back in the day, it was Acuras and Hondas. I had kids, he had kids, we kind of split apart. And then during that time, he still had that passion. He really liked exotic cars, supercars, and had the drive for it. He had a successful company. And then he discovered Ken Block and Jim Hanna and watched one of those videos, was so inspired. And his dream was, I want to do that with supercars. Yeah. This is way over 10 years ago. It wasn't even before he started the channel. Like, he saw that and he was so inspired. So he bought a Gallardo. He actually made a video in a dry sort lot close to where I live on Vancouver Island. They did the WRC Gallardo and the bushes and all that. And like back then, no one was doing that in supercars. Yeah. And that's the thing's hard to understand when you watch these videos. It's like, it's common to see a Lamborghini do a donut or burnout. But 10 years ago, it wasn't.
At all. At all, yeah.
And Damon had the balls to take a car that cost a ton of money and go and beat on it. I was really happy with my job at Starbucks. I bumped into Damon. I was like, yeah, I've got a YouTube channel. I thought that was really cool. And kind of started working with him, gave me an opportunity, and it's changed my life. The journey from that Huracan we're driving around in together to today where we have Aventadors stacked up, you have some crazy projects. We have this big, huge lease here now in this big shop. We have an FD champion full-time with us to help us build cars. Like, Damon, if you're watching this right now, thank you to you for the opportunity. And thank you to Lamborghini for building this platform. But more importantly, thank you to Ken Block and Hoonigan for inspiring Damon and always being that inspirational hero.
Yeah, I mean, Ken Block is just, you know, he will forever be a legend. I don't think anyone else would be exactly like him, right? He really started this whole culture. It changed the automotive industry completely. So amazing person. His ideas and the way he brought them to life was just unmatched. Yeah. You know, the reason I wanted to come and work with you guys is because of that kind of inspiration, what you want to do with cars and do it with these supercars. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun just building some crazy stuff.
Yeah, we're pumped. And this is just a taste of it. So we're gonna reveal the car. Sorry to get serious for a second, but like sometimes it looks like it's just a car, but it's more than just a car, especially this project. Now you'll see, we'll talk about it in a second, but there's a lot of inspiration of Ken's classic eye for design on this car. It's one of the little things we'll go over. But I think we should stop talking too much for the audience, reveal the car, we'll talk about the car, and then we'll go for a drive. All right, you ready? By the way, I'm wearing the jacket because it's the one time it actually makes a lot of sense to wear a Lamborghini jacket. I'm definitely that guy. So I present to you guys the Lamborghini Super Trofeo tire.
On top of the morning, on top of the wave, on top of the team, on top of the days, on top of my purpose. I create. Y'all wanna copy, but we're not the same. On top of the morning, on top of the wave, on top of the team, on top of the days, on top of my purpose. I create. Y'all wanna copy, but we're not the same. Yeah, yeah. Life is a game and I play to the fullest.
Okay, the first thing you'll notice, it is satin black. So LTMW painted this car. It's a difficult paint because the prep has to be perfect. You also can't polish it. So once it's painted, if you scratch it, you have to paint the panel again. But it creates this really cool effect that shows all the lines of the car. Look how aggressive his liver fenders are.
The whole thing is just insane looking. Just seeing this driving down the street, I think people are gonna be blown away.
Dude, it's amazing. So AL13 made these wheels. It says KB43 forever, and that's obviously a node to Ken Block. Do you know why Ken always preferred to have white wheels in his cars?
I do not.
To make the car visually look like it's doing more cool shit.
Yeah.
You do oil wheels, so it shows the wheel turning better.
He always had a stripe on one of the wheels too, right? So
so you can see that
really
little
see
speed on it.
Yep.
Tell us, Mike, in the front, it's not completely done yet.
Yep.
In the front hood here, you'll see there's a big gaping hole.
From a factory car, basically the air goes through the radiator and it dumps out underneath the car. And what happens when it creates lift on the front of the car. So the race cars, with all the aerodynamics they add, the splitters and everything, this comes out through the hood and actually adds more downforce to the front of the car. We've got these ducts on order. I think we can only get one of them. The bottom section we're gonna have to make.
Order from Lamborghini.
Order from Lamborghini.
So we're gonna have Lamborghini supply the top piece and you'll have to actually fabricate the rest of it. So this will be functional.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what else did you have to modify up here for the kit?
The kit doesn't exactly bolt onto the car. So John made a bunch of brackets and stuff to basically hold that all in place. Obviously, we're gonna have to do a little bit for the radiator ducting on the front side and the exit, just, little finishing touches.
And what about the lift systems? I noticed it's in a spot it never used to be.
Yeah, so it used to be up top here, but obviously with this scoop coming through here, I can't sit up there. So they dropped it down. We made some new brackets to hold it in place down there. So it's all fastened down. And actually we moved, that thing's pretty heavy. So we moved some weight lower. So the car should actually work better.
For?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think that this is a driver air duct. The air comes through here, and then inside of the car, if it was a full race car, you'd have a little tube that would blow on the driver. So you get some fresh air.
That's Italian air conditioning from a race car.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. We actually had to order this grill here from Lamborghini.
Yeah. Going to the back of the car here, you can see we've got this roof scoop here. All the air that's coming over the car, some of it's gonna go here, some of it's gonna get forced into the scoop. We still have to modify a section in the back to make it work, but it's actually gonna force air into the engine. So it's already got the VF supercharger on it, but we're actually gonna be forcing air in on top of the supercharger, so it'll make even more power. And it's getting the coldest, freshest air it can.
So right now, the roof scoop is not connected.
Correct.
We have to work with VF to create a custom tune. Why is that? Why can't you just plug the MAF in there and there's just air?
So on the race car, they don't use MAFs. Pressure sensor inside of the intake manifold and throttle position. Because in a race car, you're gonna be on the throttle pretty much all the time. In a street car, you're kind of, cruising at one speed on the freeway, and that makes that, fuel efficiency really, really good. But we don't need that in a race car, but it's still on the factory ECU. So I think VF has a way to tune that out. We're actually gonna try to tune it with the MAFs first and build something to get that scoop that's over here. It makes a U-turn and goes into the throttle bodies, but the tube on the intake side is bigger, and those MAFs are so sensitive that it has to be the exact size.
We'll pop this off and take a look at it.
Yeah.
Obviously, air comes in through here. There is a plenum that goes right here into the intake, but right there are those mass airflow sensors.
In those sensors, there's a little tiny wire. The more air that goes past it, the more resistance there is on that wire. But it's tuned for the exact diameter of that tube. And if you put a bigger tube on it, it sees less air moving past the wire and it thinks that it's not getting any air. So it's trying to turn the fuel injectors down, so it's gonna run lean. So we put those MAFs back in just to get the car running for now. And we have to modify those scoops to try to get that size tube inside of those. VF's gonna work out, all the tuning side of things. But yeah, once we get it dialed in, it's gonna work great.
And that's what's gonna make this car the true tire slayer. Speaking about that for a second, is having the VF engineering supercharger. Damon's driving style, I've always loved the instant torque.
Yeah.
Just to kick the tires out. And he actually did donuts way back in the day. In Alex Choi's garage, there's a pole in his garage, and he did donuts right around it with like 2 feet either side. And he said that the reason I could do that was that instant power.
Yeah, this car doesn't have a clutch. If you've got a car that makes a lot of top end power, you can still do that, but you're using the clutch the whole time. You're
Put the clutch in here real quick.
Real quick, no, but we can't. Having that instant power on demand, that torque on demand, just makes the car so much more drivable.
We've also said this many times too, like that the platform from VF, the superchargers, is really reliable. And this car's a car we'll put miles on. Rallies and road trips we do here at DD, this is definitely a contender for that, and it's wild. Yeah, nothing I've ever seen before. I also noticed something new that's shiny right here. Michael, what did you do?
You guys found one of my buddies, Ed, and he made that exhaust.
Oh, you know Ed?
Yeah, I know Ed. I've known Ed for years. So it was funny, he hit me up. He's like, hey, I'm working on a car for DDE. I'm not stepping on your feet, right? I'm like, no, you're good, dude.
Mow your own lawn, Ed.
But yeah, he made this really nice pipe, and we took it off and got it sent out to get that heat shielding on it. We've seen how Damon drives. He's on the throttle a lot. This thing is gonna get super hot, so we've got that Inconel heat shielding on there.
And Damon worked with the exhaust shop. Ironically, they're right by LTMW, and they did this in like one day. So we wanted to copy the race car. So the angles is just like the actual Super Trofeo race car.
Yeah.
And then the obviously the center exit. What's cool is they have all this room. So if you wanted to, you could have done straight pipes here, but you wanted to obviously follow the inspiration for the race car.
Yeah, and honestly, it's gonna sound better joining those two sides together. It gives it more crisp, high-pitched kind of tune. When it comes out separate, it kind of sounds pulsy the whole time, and it never really sounds like that properly tuned car.
And then right here we have a spot that's for a rain light.
Yeah.
Which is on order. The
race
actual Lamborghini factory, I can't imagine how much that's gonna cost. I imagine it's expensive.
It's gonna be expensive, I'm sure.
It's probably the same part number as like a rain light for like a Ford Focus they sell. Obviously the wing's functional, it's all connected. The car's good to go. The one piece missing from this car, probably wondering right now, is where's the livery? So because we chose to paint this car, it takes about 3 weeks to off gas, probably a bit more, but 3 weeks with good weather. And we have a little surprise for the wrap on this. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but the gentleman who designed Ken's wraps, I was in contact with, super awesome guy. He's gonna design a Ken Block inspired livery for this car. So there'll be another reveal for that. That's gonna be really cool. Hold on. Mike, what'd you do over here? I just noticed this. That's cool.
That took a while to make. There's a lot of
You made
curves
all
there.
this?
Yep.
You welded that? Was that
Yep.
Tim?
No, I did.
That's pretty good.
Obviously, the factory gas filler doesn't work anymore. The factory fuel tank is different in the race car. So we had to kind of get this positioned and twist it in the right direction to be able to get it to go into the stock gas tank because it's so tight down here. So we had to make a little neck and basically get it all to fit in there.
You just unscrew it?
Yeah, it just unscrews. So, and I found that the, usually have like a little cord on your
that's
gas
cool.
cap. There you go, you can set the gas cap right
So
there.
you bought this piece and then welded that around it?
Yeah, and this is actually from a company called Radium, and it's bigger and it's got like a bowl pattern. So I machined it all off to get it to fit in here, and then welded it on the backside, so it's all really clean.
That might be my favorite part of the car. Very race car look, and it's practical. I know sometimes guys will actually put the actual race car one on, put that pressure thing on.
Yeah.
Which, dude, it's like, our friend Kevin had a 458 challenge car. They just drove on the streets because he was a gangster. And he had to get like a screwdriver and wedge it open, the fuel nozzle in
so
there.
they have a quick fill, and actually this can be adapted. So they have a quick fill thing that spins right in. It screws in here, and then you can use quick fill jugs.
No shit. And scratch the paint trying to get it in.
Yeah, exactly.
Ding, 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 ding.
But that's kind of why I built this all around. Instead of just having that flat piece in there.
Damon's gonna love this car. Damon hasn't seen this car done yet.
I know.
He's seen some pictures and all that, but until you see it in person, like, it's really impressive. I'm gonna take it for his first maiden voyage in honor of Ken, and as a big thank you to Damon for establishing this platform. But more importantly, this car is built to do something that I'm not gonna do today, and that's burn tires. So stay tuned for that. Damon's gonna absolutely terrorize this car and make it do things and slide it around.
It's just going to get crazier from here, right? This is just kind of like, this is stage one, and we've got a lot of things planned.
Dude, it looks really good. I'm pumped. Okay, I'm talking too much. Let's go for a drive. Hello? Anybody there?
Yeah, I'm here, brother. What's up?
Hey, can I get a dozen donuts and can you get an FD champion to serve them to me?
Yeah, no problem.
Hey,
How did you get here so fast?
you know, I didn't get my paycheck, so I had to come work a second job.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, don't forget to leave a tip.
Oh yeah, no problem. Right. By the way, this is that prop. We rushed here for this whole little funny scene I had. The website said they close at 5, close at 9. So I actually went and bought real donuts. That was a prop. Long story short, we have real donuts, so let's go and enjoy. How fun was that? Mike wasn't with me. He had to drive the van to film that kind of little thing for you guys, but we have real donuts here, so I'm starving. So what do we have here?
We got an assortment.
Oh, I can't eat this.
I mean, you shouldn't eat this, but you can.
My girlfriend's watching this. Not because of the weight thing, because my doctor said I can't have yeast anymore. She said I have a yeast issue. I don't have a yeast infection, but I have a yeast diet issue.
Well, not this time.
Dude, car drive's really good. Couple things to dial in. It thinks the doors are open. Lift failure.
Nice.
So we have a lift failure. Car looks good. And people's reactions.
Oh, man.
There's no livery yet. We're still waiting on the livery. But just the way it sits now, people are like, holy shit. Let's go to donut and look at the car. Have you had one yet?
I did.
Which one did you have?
I had the pink one. Pink with sprinkles. It was actually pretty good.
It's a Huracan, tragic Huracan. We forget it's all crazy looking on the outside.
Yeah, it looks insane. Like
Well-
when we're like following you, it doesn't look like it should be on the street. It looks insane.
Really?
Yeah.
Damon's gonna be really happy. He's gonna love this car.
The pops in the exhaust. We're watching people that were looking, and the pops is like jumping around.
Yeah, a couple things to dial in here. We have a brake light, tail light malfunction. It thinks the hood's open. It thinks the trunk's open. It thinks the doors are open. What would that be that caused those issues?
The hood and trunk, obviously, we put fiberglass parts on it instead of the factory, so the latches are still there. So we got to bypass all that stuff. But the doors, I have no idea.
Well, what's next for this car? We need to do some surprises for Damon while he's away. Nitrous? Could you put nitrous on this car with a supercharger?
Yes, we could.
It is currently like rush hour traffic, and I just noticed something. You have no fuel. So we can test out your fuel cap. Have you tried it yet? Like,
I haven't tried it yet. I don't know if it's gonna work.
Oh man, what's the worst that could happen? All the fuel leaks in the ground because it's not connected properly?
So the opening in that thing is pretty big. So I don't know if the whole nozzle is just gonna kind of like fall in, and we'll see. We'll figure it out.
That's some really good jokes right now about a girl from high school. We're to a gas station in this misery. It doesn't matter if you have a Lamborghini race car. If you're in traffic, you're in traffic. I'm wearing the jacket and everything. We'll get you one too.
I need one.
You do. Company expense. Damon, you're not here. I'm controlling the credit card. Mike, it's Lamborghini everything. Okay. Oh yeah, she's sexy. One more time. Woo. Okay, we're doing a little bit of testing of Mike's handiwork here to make sure the actual
Let's see if this works.
nozzle works.
Well, see, I was thinking the size of this.
It's California.
Fall in there.
Dad's credit card on my wallet real quick here. All right, this is all on you, bud.
All right, let's see. 87, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna get stuck.
Well, there you go. So you have to hold it.
I was thinking that I might have to make an insert to make the hole smaller.
Stop it. Well, there you have it. Don't spill. It's fueling up. Done. I mean, it's not done, a few little things, but overall, like,
Yeah.
2 years in the making. Well, we have lots planned this week in Damon's absence. I have some plans up my sleeve. Take a look at that, crazy, right?
Yep.
Right? That one? You see
Yeah,
that one?
that's
Anyway,
right.
Mark, you were saying this is your favorite car on the channel now. Mark, did you say that?
Yeah, it's the coolest car on the channel to me. I really like the 720 GTR, but it doesn't look as aggressive as this one.
So you're happy you got crashed. That's man. What about you? Of all these 4 cars right here, which one would you take right now?
I mean, this is the most aggressive looking car.
The Sparko toe strap is such a small little thing, but man, this thing looks bad with it,
It adds so much.
bro.
Sick.
And I didn't mention this earlier. There's a few parts missing from Lamborghini. The wood pieces for here we have coming Friday. So bear with me. There's a few things coming, but it's gonna get done. As well as the Aventador S, my pride and joy. I have a wrap design. I have wheels being cut right now by L13. Stay tuned for that. Lots to come this week. Damon, I hope you feel better. In the meantime, for you watching right now, if you haven't, smash the subscribe button. And thank you to our sponsors, August Motor Cars for getting us the car, L13 for the wheels, VF Engineering for the supercharger, Long LTMW for the paint work, John putting the kit on, and Mike for just looking so goddamn sexy with that fuel cap.
Oh,
that
man,
actually
was-
works.
It's good, right?
That's
it works.
It's your first day on the job. You want to do the hand thing in the video?
All right, guys. See you next time. You think I was gonna hit you?
End it.
You can't see me punch you in the stomach.
Long is over. We're leaving.
I was like, can I get your card? I'll fill up the van while we're here. It's at half tank. Save it.
Hey, come about that for me.